Hello everyone, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our featured match of the night. It's our Sunday night match stream. We have the Elite Division tonight. It's going to be the Nebulas against the Gladiators. The Nebulas are coming in at 22-10, number one in the Mountain Division, going against the Gladiators, who are 27-5 and number one in the Ocean Division.
Yeah, this should be a really interesting matchup tonight, as the Gladiators and Nebulas are the number one and number two in the entire league for the Elite rankings. The Gladiators have not lost more than one match to a team, so it looks like the Nebulas are going to try and take off, two or more matches tonight to try and break that win streak. What do you think about their chances today, Rumble?
Nebulas have a pretty good chance at taking those two games. Going 2-2 would definitely be huge for their future forward, and it'll definitely show that the Gladiators aren't maybe as tough as they could be. This is the one team that can definitely do it. The Gladiators have won 85% of all of their games played. They've only dropped one game at max throughout their entire time playing, and that's out of 32 games. So if that has to say anything. It's going to be tough for the Nebulas, but I do think they can come through. 2-2 would be great. If they get 3-1, that's huge.
Yeah, I think you raised a good point there. I don't think we're going to see the Nebula sweep a 4-0, but I also don't think we're going to see the Gladiators sweep a 4-0. I think we're going to have a very even match here between the two teams, especially just looking at their stats. Well, it does seem like the Gladiators are dominating. They have 114 goals compared to 88 on the Nebulas. They have 21 more assists than the Nebulas. They've got almost 50 more shots than the Nebulas. If you look at the stats themselves, it's really not that big of a difference. Nebulas have 2 more saves at 98 than 96. So you've got a higher opponent shot rate for Nebulas, but it's only higher by 1.3%. So it's really not too big of a difference between the teams. And I think that, what's really going to come into play here is how the non-dominant players, how, the players that aren't scoring all the goals, how they assist their teammates and how they make those key plays tonight. That's really going to make the difference.
Yes, let's talk about a few featured players that we have for tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing Gladiators duo match up really well, and that duo is going to be Anubis and Siru. Both have a combined total of 81 goals out of the 114 on their team, so they're definitely going to be making big plays, and they also have a huge amount of assists. Anubis leads in goals and in assists, also putting up some of the higher shots that we've seen in the league. Who do you see from Nebulas that will need to step up and be like the two shining players?
Well, Dondo, Chaka, and Spencer have been the two greatest players of the team so far, with a combined total of 52 goals and 32 assists. Now, they also do have some of the highest shot percentages in the league, sitting at number 4 and number 7. Dondo Chaka's got a 46.55% shot percentage, and Spencer's got a 44.64% shot percentage, which means that they're both in the top 10, which means they take their shots very well, and they know when to take their shots and how to place them. Compared to, if you look at the Gladiators team, you got Anubis and Siru, who have the number 2 and number 4 spots in the league for shots taken, but they're not even in the top 10 when it comes to their shot to goal percentage. So I think what's really going to come down to is, is it just going to be Gladiators just keep pushing and pushing and just try to slam the ball into the net, or will the Nebulas be able to place the shot where they want it and be able to get that higher shot percentage to get them that edge, to get them the victories they need?
We did interview some of the players beforehand. We interviewed Chex Mix, and we asked them how is their team feeling going into today's matchup against the Gladiators. And Chex responded, the GM. He said, "We're really pumped to finally face them. I know Dondo Chaka has been itching to go up against Veroko all season long, so he is definitely ready to play. And they understand that the Gladiators have enjoyed a dominant season so far, but they said they're ready to end it tonight."
Yeah, I think he's got a good point there. If anybody can take off those games, we already said it's going to be the Nebulas. Second highest team in the league, facing the number 1. They're primed and ready to take off. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, or 3 games tonight. So I think it'll be a really interesting, close matchup, and just excited to see what happens. Should be some great Rocket League.
We do have. Looks like all the players are loading up. Looks like we have everyone ready to go. Let's take a look. Okay, looks like everyone's in here. We're maxed out. We did also ask Gladiators how they think the matches are going to go, but One thing that Anubis said, and Meta also says, that they're feeling really confident about tonight. So look for them to come out strong. That they're gonna have really good synergy. They did scrim last week, and it went pretty well. Looks like all players are loaded up and ready to go. Let's get this underway.
Yeah, I think they have a reason to feel confident. Obviously, as the number one team in the league, but I think they'll have a close matchup tonight. So let's see how it goes. It starts right now.
We got Rocco and Dondo popping the ball off. Drops back to Siri, who's going to have time on the ball to pop it forward. Sydney's going to look for a backboard clear to buy some space for his team. Doesn't quite get it, and Siri puts it underneath Dondo.
Just a fast goal from Zero. He just applies the pressure and waits for the Nebulas to make a mistake, which happens as Sydney cannot hit the ball off the backboard, and just leads for an easy goal. Not a great start for the Nebulas. 8 seconds in and down 1-0.
Definitely making a statement coming from the Gladiators. I wonder if that's going to play into effect into how the Nebulas play, but it's so early on, and there's so much games to be played. Let's just see what happens next.
Yeah, Sydney does not seem to be playing very well in that back corner of the wall there, so we'll see if the Gladiators catch on to that and just try and force the ball there on defense.
Could be some early nerves, definitely, as Cindy pops the ball down into the back left corner of Warren, tries to center the ball. Siri has a little backwards play, taking his time as Dondo doesn't really pressure till late. Spence is on the ball now looking to throw this in, and Sydney ends up getting the dunk. Siri coming off the wall with a touchdown to Rocco, but Sydney also wins that as the ball goes into the back corner. Sydney pops it back forward. Dondo's coming in middle, uncontested. Does he get the shot? He gets it underneath him. 1-1.
Another great example of applying the pressure and making them make the mistake to get the goal. See, Sydney won the aerial early to win the second touch here and just leave the goal wide open for Dondo to hit that straight in without opposition.
Great response. Only 14-14 left. 4:14 left. We got a tie game. Spencer ball flies up on the side. Rocco's going to take his time on the wall. Pops it over to Sydney, but Donald's there to receive. Throws it up to Sydney. Sydney out, leaving the ball for Siru. Siru come on the wall with a nice 50. Looks like Spencer's going to be able to take his time on this ball, but doesn't quite get the touch he wants.
Yeah, unlucky there. I mean, the ball bounced a little higher than he expected, so you can't do much there.
Definitely difficult. Sydney pops it up, looking for another touch, but Siru's up on the wall to take it. We got a 3-man break here. Dead set. It's wide open. Anubis takes it, finishes the ball. A little miscommunication in the back line. From
the Nebulas were just pushing up too far, and they didn't rotate back soon enough, so just classic counterattack goal there by Gladiators.
Giving up goals like that's not going to help their chances, but the Gladiators will definitely punish them every time.
Yeah, the Gladiators have shown that. Can't give them any room. Give them an inch, they take a mile.
Yeah. Dead set. Anubis throws him to the corner. Sydney on the wall again. Dead set looking to get the touch. He does get the pop out middle to Rocco. Rocco goes up, takes it into the corner. Spencer's going to have to try to clear this out and play it short. Does quite get it. Anubis looking for the 50, but Spencer drops it past him. Sears on the wall. He's got Anubis in the middle. Good pops. Sears going to try to follow this up, and Donald's going to actually clear this high.
Oh, and just an unlucky save there. See, that whole play started when they pressured Spencer in the corner and got him to make a mistake, and then they counterattacked back off of it, going back and forth for two volleys, but then eventually they get the goal off a wall shot from Rocco. Nice shot, just unlucky save too.
3-1 for Gladiators with 3:13 left on the clock. Sydney with a one-on-one dribble, can't quite get it as Anubis comes in inside, strip the ball away. Spencer throws on the backboard. Dondo waiting to receive this ball in the corner. Can't quite get the pass. Siri's now going to see if he can dribble this down into the blue side.
Well, good play by Sydney. I know we were talking about him having trouble playing in the corner earlier, but he just had a nice save there to prove us wrong.
Not too much pressure coming from either side. A little back and forth, but definitely Gladiators have capitalized on the chances that Nebulas have been giving them. Let's see, Anubis pops the ball clear, far down the center. Siri's going to be up. Sydney's got a touch to the side, and he does. Rocco looking for a pass. Anubis is going to try to follow this up. Ops playing the safe goal, keeping the pressure and dropping back. Let's see if Sydney's in the corner and get this pass. Anubis, he does. He's got one more Siri to beat. Doesn't quite get it. Anubis is up, looking to touch us down, maybe to Rocco. Spencer with a big clear.
Well, there might be a counterattack here.
Could be a chance. Dondo, that's open. Oh, just puts it wide. He's going for that far post, but definitely it was a little too far. Rocco trying to get it over Sydney. What do you think Nebulas are going to have to do to bring this back? They're down 2 goals, 2 on the clock.
I think the Nebulas, they've realized what's happening here. They need to put more pressure up to force those opportunities and force the mistakes out of the Gladiators to get those goals back. But that being said, they also need to make sure they have somebody back because they've gotten punished for it 2 times out of 3 now. So they have to find that balance between getting a good counterattack off and making sure they're not getting burned when they don't leave anybody back.
So you're coming off the back wall looking for a big clear, but Sydney's there to receive the ball, and he's still going to stick with it, trying to put it off the wall, and Vroko takes it over Spencer. Spencer over to Sear. Sear to Vroko. Vroko keeps going down the sideline. Doesn't quite get it, but Anubis is there to try to take the shot. Spencer with a nice block. Sear might get this over to Spencer. Anubis looking for a pass into the middle, doesn't quite get it. Sydney's going to have to get a big clear to buy some time, and he does. Dondo's up, looking for the touch. Great touchdown by Vroko, buying his team a little more time and space to get it away. And Anubis gets it over Spencer. We got a 2-on-1 situation. You're off the backboard. Double. Oh, just the side. Sear's going to have time in this ball. Dondo with a good wall play.
Oh, and the demo coming out of Sear on Spencer, leaving the goal open. Leaving us a 3-on-2 scenario. And
puts it away.
Right there. That demo by Sear really opened up the game and let them capitalize on 3-2 scenario there. Even though Spencer did respawn, he didn't respawn in time to really make a difference there and stop the aggressive play by the Gladiators.
Good call on that demo. That demo was very huge to buy the open net time and just take away their last defender. And Anubis is there to counter. Put the ball in. We got 45 seconds left on the clock coming up. Sydney taking the ball down the side, but Vrok was there to put it back in the blue corner. Spencer looking for that big clear, does hit the ceiling, tries to buy time. Spencer's over on top, Sydney's on top, just wide. Holds the ball in, Sear's going to try to clear this ball to the side. He does get a 50. Spencer looking to put it in, can't quite. And Anubis is going to try to take this ball out. He's got Sear down the line. Sear's got Vroko in the middle. Tries to go for the solo play, doesn't quite get it. Spencer's trying to take this and pinch out towards the center. Anubis is going to be up to put this over to the wall. Vroko looking to find Sear.
Anubis and Sear are just really getting those balls that are up near the ceiling, and they're not getting challenged by Nebulas. And even when they do challenge, it doesn't seem like they're going to win any of the high balls up there. So it's just interesting to see that play out in this game.
There you go, Habits. 4-1 Gladiators. They just take game 1 pretty decisively.
I mean, if that game's a indicator of the rest of the series, I don't think Nebula is going to take more than 1 game off them with playing like that. Well, let's just see how Nebula regroups and comes into the next game.
Yeah, currently, Gladiators are leading the league with the most amount of points scored in a game. They're up by quite a lot, too. They're up by 3,800 points, and if this game is anything to say with it, it's limiting Spencer to 75 and keeping, the lowest point score on the Gladiators is higher than the highest of Nebulas.
Yeah, it really does say a lot about how everybody in the Gladiators team really participated and played a part in the win, I should say. Everybody there was at least a part of 2 goals. They had, 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 goals there. Everybody had a couple shots. So, everybody there was a part of the play. Well, as you look at the Nebulas, and not everybody there has a save. They couldn't capitalize on their opportunities, and they were just getting burned by being too far up and not having anybody back to rotate.
Mm-hmm. I think what do you think Nebulas need to do to get this game? I'm thinking they need to get a little better follow-up on clears, maybe try to look for stronger 50-50s, and just really maintain pressure on the Gladiator side.
I think that's fair, but I think the original clear, the clear itself, needs to be a good, strong hit. They faltered a lot when their clears weren't strong enough, and they just got punished for it. And looking like the Gladiators going for a fast goal here.
Yeah, that's Siru popping up off the wall. He was just a little cherry picking as Vroko beat Dondo to the ball. Dondo actually beats Vroko back. Big demo onto Anubis, and there's going to be a chance to put this in if Sydney can win this ball, but Siru gets him before.
Yeah, right there. Nebula really not doing great in the high aerials, as we saw. If they had hit that high aerial, they would have a great chance to score. Oh, and a great save there.
Good pressure from Gladiators as Anubis gets his second chance at putting the ball towards the net, and Vroko's there to put it away.
Yeah, see, it's just the high pressure they're keeping with the follow-ups on the shots that, letting them score these goals that Nebula's not really getting a chance to save.
Great heads-up play from Anubis to pass that ball as Sydney was thinking he was going to take another shot. Oh, Sirius got out maybe 1-on-2, slows it down, doesn't quite get it as Dondo pops it up. 50-50 in the air, falls straight down to Sydney. Sydney's going to take control of this ball. Tries to sneak it past one, does get one, but not Roko, who's sitting back. Good pass up by Siru, but no one to follow from Gladiators.
See, this whole play started when the Nebulas missed a high-up aerial, and then it's continued by Siru when he hits another high-up aerial. I think that, you know, one of the keys to winning this game is finding a way to contest those aerials and not be out of position when you lose them.
Oh, great save by Siru. Spencer popped it up, and Sydney dropped it down, and Siru was just sitting in the net waiting just patiently to take a perfect save. Dead set. Anubis is up, pops it up straight down. It's going to be tough. Spencer's going to be there to take it away. Looks like Roko's going to be on the wall too, looking maybe recenter. Doesn't quite get it. Sydney's going to be able to follow up. The net's almost open. Doesn't quite get the touch he needs.
I think it was incredible, that last play. It was a 2-on-3 for Gladiators, but it felt like it was a 3-on-3, even though they had one of their players sitting back at half field in case there was a quick counterattack. It just shows how effective these players are when it comes to attacking.
Great save by Dondo Chakra as Anubis tries to drill one down the center of the net, but Dondo's there. Oh, Roko tries to put it in. A double stuff coming from the Nebulas. Sydney's going to pop this out to the ball. He's got time on this ball. No one's there to challenge him right away. He pops up to the backboard. Roko chops it down to the side. Anubis doesn't quite get the pinch he was looking for. Spence is looking for a 50-50. Dondo's up, trying to place it down. Spence maybe back pass here. Siru's there to intercept it. Sydney with a nice read. As Roko dumps the ball back over to Siru, who's chilling in the corner, who drops it back down. Good patience coming from the Gladiators.
And they have 2 hits right in that corner, high up in the air. They're really capitalizing on getting the ball up high and just punishing the Nebulas for not being able to play it right now.
Yeah, big heads-up plays. They're playing very patient. Gladiators are playing very patient, they're not easy to. They're not trying to commit all 3. They have a 1-0 lead. Now Nebulas looking for a little solo play dribble. Roko pops it up high. Siru's going to try to follow us and drop it back down. But Sydney takes a big clear. It's a great clear, buying time. Anubis is going to be a long boost, but he just picks up 100. Ooh.
The Gladiators committed 3 players to that play, but Anubis was still able to rotate back in time before the Nebulas could launch a successful counterattack. Just great rotation from Anubis there.
Roko gets it over 2, but Spence is there to hit the ball forward. Anubis again pops into the corner. Sydney trying to just regain control. Good dunk from him. As Dondo's going to try to challenge Roko on this ball, and Roko ends up winning, but Spence is there to clear it forward.
Dondo not finding much success in the corner. Sydney almost scores it there, but unsuccessful.
Big pinch coming out to the side. Sydney pops it into the corner. Anubis the Gladiators just throwing this ball in the backboard, just non-stop. They're just trying to keep Nebulas on their feet. Oh, big clear, Spencer. Oh, great touch by Siru. Ball slowed down here. Little 50 coming from both teams. Looks like Anubis is going to get there before him. Going for a solo play. Big pinch out to the side. Got a minute left on the clock. See if the Nebulas can come back on the counterplay from here. Roko pops it up. Dondo's there to try to put it to the right side of the net. Can't quite get it.
Yeah, that weak clear there could have been a downfall for Gladiators. Could have been easily a tied 1-1 game there, but Dondo failed to capitalize on the shot, and they couldn't force the tie going to overtime.
Oh, big demo coming out. Spencer leaves it for Sydney. Sydney with the shot. It's in. It's in.
Yeah, that demo, like we said earlier, it was such a great play that it forced them to play 3v2. And even when he did come back, once again, the player who got demoed wasn't able to recover in time to save the goal. You know, that's what we're seeing a common theme here. Besides, high aerial shots, the demos are scoring a lot of the goals these games.
Very true. Ball pops up center. Sydney tries to touch it over. Anubis doesn't quite get it. Spence is there to dump it into the corner. Siru with the clear on the wall. Dondo's there to receive it. Roko's going to take his time with this. Ends up popping it up for Anubis. Anubis back up, looking for Roko again. Almost. Good clear coming out, but Siru's there to receive it. It's going to drop off the wall. Sydney, good touch to the side. Donald's going to have time on this ball unless Anubis demos him. He does get the demo. Both players got demoed, actually.
Yeah, it was two demos there, and they were keeping the ball up high, trying to score the goal. They were really pulling out all the cards here. Got one last opportunity.
Anubis is up. Ball touched down to the ground. We're heading to OT in game 2. There's definitely a different feel to the tempo on this game compared to the first one.
Yeah, this really could be anybody's game with this OT. I don't think there really is a favorite right now. Oh, a quick goal makes me eat my words.
The caster's curse.
Yeah, exactly. But a quick counterattack just makes the game 2 go to the Gladiators. And now Gladiators are up 2-0 in this series. Now, the Nebulas could pull up a 2-2, but they cannot win this series anymore. A 2-2 tie, I think, would still be a win for them, as I don't think they came in expecting to win, more than 2 matches here. And even with them being the underdogs, I think just taking the 2 matches off of the #1 team in the league would be a great accomplishment for them. And it looks like there's a sub coming in here for the Gladiators, subbing Rocco for MD9. So we'll see how that works for them.
Looks like Meta's coming in. Should be a big heads-up display. Rocco did technically have the 2-0 win over Dondo, and these guys are used to be best friends coming in from LFM, which is looking for Manfield. Definitely a little rivalry between the two as Rocco gets his 2 wins and says, "Bye, Dondo. I'll catch you later."
Yeah, Rocco really was a key part of this team, as he was the one that they'd always leave back when they'd go pressure the attack, and he was the one who stopped plenty of attacks from the Nebulas and just quickly squashed the counterattacks. So it's interesting to see how Meta's going to do in this new lineup.
We did talk to Meta beforehand about what key factors that help their team stay so successful all season, and Meta said that they always try to stay flexible and they just want to adjust how their opponents play. Let's see if that adjustment coming to that OT game might change, and maybe they're trying to make a little more pressure on the ball, or maybe win a little more decisively. It's definitely going to be close.
All right, now as they go over the kickoff, Dondo wins. I think that's the first time we've seen Nebulas win the kickoff. Sydney goes up high. Not a great hit, but a quick return from Siru. Looks like it could be a dangerous play right in front of the goal, but Dondo comes in with the save. And Spencer trying to get a counterattack up. Meta playing Rocco's position very well and just clears it upfield straight for Anubis. Oh, they're just playing back and forth from this one wall. And demo coming out of Spencer, leaving the field wide open, but Anubis, once again, with his rotations, are just too quick.
Definitely too fast. I'm not too sure how the Gladiators are going to find a goal. They could find one here with Meta Demon.
Oh, and that was a close opportunity. Just a 50-50 up in the air. What a bounce straight in front of the goal. Spencer fails to clear it here. And Siru? Oh, Sydney clears the ball out. Oh, and it looks like Anubis is back on defense once again. Dondo misses the high aerial, and the Nebulas are put back on their heels. Spencer misses it, but Sydney has a weak clear. Spencer managed to save it for him.
Definitely a lot of good pressure coming from, a triple commit coming from Gladiators, but I was just about to praise their patience of always having that extra guy back to follow up on some shallow clears coming from Nebulas.
Yeah, I think there had to be some miscommunication there. They sent 2 guys going for the same aerial ball, and a shot bouncing straight down, and it just goes in. Zero places the ball where they couldn't get it, and then it bounces on the line, and there's no recovering from a shot like that.
It's a great position from Siru just to take his time. He wasn't getting pressured at all. There were no Nebulas players coming out from the net, and he just wrapped around the ball and just put it high, put it hard, and just drilled it off the post.
Yeah, and once again, the Gladiators are starting off with a 1-0 lead. A very common theme we've seen in the series.
Yeah, third game that they've taken the lead, and it's worked in their favor, so hopefully Nebulas can respond.
The Gladiators had 2 guys up in the air, but Meta was back, so it wasn't too bad of an opportunity for them to clear out from Sydney. Oh, and Siru takes it up the wall. Looks like he might try and score this. Oh, and a great clear from Spencer. But once again, Meta, Gladiators always have that one guy back. Just make sure that there's not going to be a counterattack on him. Anubis puts the ball a little too high. Goes for the bump. Clears the bump out of the goal, but there's a recovery from Spencer. Oh, and Meta goes for the shot. Dondo with the save. Siru up the wall. Plays the pass. Looks like Meta could score here. And just great team play as they looked at each other when they're going for that pass. You see Siru go up the wall here, knowing that Anubis was going to be there. Meta was just going to be there, and Meta just puts it over the last defender, so not much they could do there.
It's just that same rotation. Their third guy, Siru, comes up, pops the ball, and keeps it on Nebula's side, and he's able to win the next ball and throw it back across the Meta, and you have Anubis just waiting in case something goes wrong to keep the pressure. Great stuff from Gladiators.
Yeah, and a demo at half field. Didn't seem to do much for either team, but it still happened. Now Anubis up high going for the aerials. Dondo just says no sir. We're taking it the other way. Meta with a weak clear that could be punished. Spencer putting it straight into the corner. Zero coming off that wall and having a nice clear there too. 50-50. It looks like Chaka won that one as the ball's going to be centered for the Nebula, but Sydney can't get off that last touch he needed. Oh, and looks like Anubis is going to get another high up aerial as Spencer tries to recover for this. Oh, and a great shot and great save by Spencer too. Little hesitation there by Sydney, but it looks like it works out in the end. Spencer in the corner again, going for an aerial. A nice hit. Meta puts it back to the other corner. Once again, Nebula desperately trying to clear this ball out of their side of the field, unsuccessfully. Anubis puts it straight up. Oh, it could be a counterattack here, but it looks like Sirius is just going to clear this ball out without a problem.
Yeah, Gladiators again just staying far back, by biding their time, just keeping boost and stealing boost and looking for bumps across the net. They're just playing way more aggressive and physical than these Nebulas, and it's definitely coming apparent in the clears. Nebulas can't get the ball out of their half. I mean, right now they have pressure, but let's see how long this will last.
Yeah, exactly as you said. They instantly have a counterattack for the Gladiators. Spencer not with a clear clear and just results in a goal and a great demo from Siru.
Yeah, just a classic counter. Spencer tries to put this into the corner, ends up getting a poor hit off the wall, and Anubis just beats Sydney to the ball. Open net. 3-0 Gladiators.
Yeah, and the Gladiators just look calm and composed, while the Nebulas are starting to look a little frantic because they want to take one game off the Gladiators here. A great save, though, by Dondo. Put straight back in the middle by Meta, and another goal for the Gladiators. 4-0 with a minute left. Let's see how Nebula tries to recover
sitting
from
in
this.
midfield, Meta just pops it off the ceiling. Anubis beats Sydney to the ball and just flicks it right over him.
It's a great aerial.
Great finish.
All right. Kickoff goes. Dondo looks like he's been winning a lot of kickoffs, but his team hasn't been there to follow up after the kickoffs. Sydney trying for the goal. Beats one player, but he hits the wall. Oh, sadly misses the pass. And a great shot from Spencer. Puts it directly where he needs it to be.
Yeah, conceding this goal is going to be tough. Meta was left in a hard spot. He had a challenge really early. It was just definitely a tough situation for him to get out of. And Nebula's good job, though, finishing that ball, having the power play.
Yeah, they haven't had that many opportunities this game, but the total of 2 shots, they finished one of them. Well, if you look at the Gladiators, they have 9 total shots this game. So, I mean, overall, they do have a better shot percentage. Well, not anymore. They just put it down to 33%. But, oh, and a great challenge from Siru. Oh, and a last-second save from Anubis keeps them alive. Anubis going from the ceiling hit. Doesn't quite get it. Siru playing passively, not trying to play too aggressively and lose his position here. It's all right. He played aggressively, but Anubis with a nice clear. Let's see what happens here. Just pops it just over Meta, but Meta still got a decent touch on it. Ooh, and Meta misses the shot, and they get a nice clear. Dondo puts it on target. Anubis with the save. Spencer going for the last second shot. Can't quite get it.
The demo on a Meta? Oh, doesn't quite get it either. So he keeps it up.
And that's be it. 1-4. Looks like Gladiators are going to take this series 3-0. So Nebulas have one more chance to take one game off of the Gladiators. I mean, judging from these last 3 games, I mean, game 2, they had a really good chance, but just failed in the overtime, which is not a great outcome for them. But they could still take a game off them if they play like they did in game 2. But we'll see what happens.
I'd like to definitely see some more physicality coming from Nebulas. Get some bumps, get some demos. Not utilizing the pressure that it does, and it can really alleviate some pressure on defense. If they get a demo, it can also keep the pressure on offense when they get the demo. It's going to be, I think it will dictate the game if they can play a little more aggressive and physical.
Yeah, I think they're scared because I think they are in their own head just thinking that they're not a worse team, but they know the other team's ranked number 1. They know they're ranked 2, so they're thinking, we gotta defend first and then take our opportunities when they come. When really they should have the mindset of just trying to get those goals and win. And then another thing we're seeing here is, once again, the Gladiators, their whole team is participating equally. Where if you look at the Nebulas, they're not having, equal participation, it seems, across the games. And one of the stats to back that up is if you look at the Nebula's shot percentages, they have 2 people that are over 44%, and then they have 2 people on their team that are below 30. Whereas if you look at the Gladiators, no one on their team is below a 30%. So I think it just shows how the participation on the team is just slightly different.
Yeah, Gladiators are not trying to give up possession at any point in this game. This entire series, they've been just keeping pressure and keeping that third man back to keep the pressure. It's almost like a rear naked chokehold they've got the Nebulas in right now, and they're going to try to finish them off.
Yeah. Zero getting a nice touch over Sydney, and Dondo clears it out with not much opposition here. Sydney tries to clear the center of the ball, and Meta just takes it out of there. And Dondo with the shot.
Oh!
And an unlucky touch puts it straight into the net. So first time we've seen the Nebulas start off the series with a 1-0 lead.
Sear just tries to slow the ball down for Anubis, and Anubis jumps a little too early on the gun. Must have been some miscommunication on whose ball that was going to be. But
yeah, you got to give it to Sear though. Even though he messed up the first time, he tried to recover and just barely missed it. It's an unlucky thing there.
Unlucky. This is the first time though the Nebulas are up 1-0 at the start. This is looking good for them.
It is looking good for them. Uh-oh, counterattack though. Spencer with the save. Oh, and an unlucky bounce off the post for Ciro. Gladiators playing aggressively, trying to make their deficit go away, trying to even out this game. Ciro getting beat on the wall there. Anubis doesn't want to lose and plays it a quick counterattack. I think Nebulas, even though they're up 1-0, are starting to play even more, turtling even more. They're keeping one person in the goal at all times because they don't want to lose their lead here. I think right now their mindset is going to be...
Big demo into Sydney. Meta's going to bury this. Class,
Yeah.
There's the demo. There, we just talked about it.
Exactly.
The demo's going to leave up so much space. Demo's the midfielder. Spence has to come from goal to challenge that ball, and Anubis beats Spencer to the ball. All he has to do is roll it across the net, and Meta's like, nom, 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 nom.
Exactly, like you were saying, and Gladiators are doing a great job of utilizing their demos to get them goals. And it just comes down to maybe, Nebulas have to start using the demo themselves, or maybe the, Nebulas have to, dodge the demos, whatever they can do to stop it happening. As Sydney Cheeks goes for an aerial there and doesn't quite get it. They're kind of stuck in the corner right now. Oh, but looks like Anubis is going to clear this out without a problem. There's not much pressure on him right now.
Ciro is chasing down Sydney right now for a demo. He just chased him across half the map, making Sydney use all of his boosts.
Oh, and it's a 2v1, and it just drops into the net. So you think Ciro chasing the other player down, had anything to do with this goal here?
Absolutely, because he forced Sydney into a spot he wasn't comfortable in. So he forced Sydney out of around the goal into the midfield, where all of a sudden the ball flew to Sydney, but he was in a poor spot to make a good touch. And then Anubis just comes in and just says, free hit. Okay, cool. Wide open net. Spence's got to retreat. He's on his heels. And then Ciro.
A great save there from Dondo. But they're keeping the pressure up as Spencer just misses a save there. Anubis gets another goal even before we can stop talking about the last one. We said this game started out with on a good note for Nebula with a 1-0 win. It's quickly fading away. It's 1-3 already. Not even 2 minutes after their first goal.
They tell you to count the amount of bullets in the chamber of the gun, so you know how many bullets are left. And right now, they've just fired 3 in quick succession. So there's about 3 more left. We'll see. But looks like the amount of bullets in their chamber is unlimited as the Gladiators are up 3-1.
Now, Anubis, not a great center there, but he is recovering. And like we said, the Gladiators have a great job recovering and keeping that guy back on defense while also applying the pressure, and it just shows it right there. Looked like that could have been on target, but Ciro takes that out of there, says, no, sir, get that out of here. Oh, and not a great hit from Sydney. Oh, and Spencer saves it, but doesn't have a great clear as Sydney goes to follow this up. And Ciro, like we've seen in the rest of the series, wins the aerial and on the wall. Anubis passing the ball. Oh, but Sydney takes it. Just off target, though.
One thing I'd like to see from Nebulas, if they're going to come back from this, is they got to stop throwing 2 players when they're on defense in front of the net. Oh. Sydney. They can't throw.
Dondo set that play up with the demo there to clear the goal, and I think they caught on to what the Gladiators were doing to them, but just, the finish wasn't there and just left a wide open goal for them to fill. But a great save there and a clear. Looks like Nebula had numbers. They're still trying to win it, though, but they don't quite have the numbers they did before. And Ciro just throws the ball out of there. Dondo doesn't want it to leave their side, though. So Anubis fighting back. Sydney misses the ball. Anubis, looking for a pass. Wasn't sure what he was doing there. Meta pushing up too far. Oh, but Anubis, once again, with his rotations, is back in time. Ball just sitting in the corner. Spencer? No. Oh, and it's a counterattack by the Gladiators. And what a shot there from Anubis. Not quite hard enough to go in, but placed well. Crossbar. Oh, this could be a good counter attack opportunity for Nebula. And with the demo on meta, puts them up here 2-3. Oh, and Ciro with a great clear there.
Yeah, Nebula can't quite follow up on that. That was a good demo coming forward, but the play of the ball just slowed down, and they weren't able to keep the pressure they needed.
Exactly. It seems like when they get the demos, they're only sending up 2 guys. So it's one guy's at the ball and the other person's, doing the demo, so they can't quite finish the shots. Oh, and Spencer just putting the ball in where they can't quite reach it and getting a goal. Or sorry, Meta getting the goal, putting the ball right up top where Dondo just couldn't hit it. He just couldn't get up fast enough or didn't have any boost, but not quite where he wanted it. 43 seconds left. They're down by 3. Can Nebula come back and pull out one game? Let's see what happens here. Meta wins the kickoff, and Ciro just puts it straight across. Nobody's there to finish it, though. Oh, and it looks like that could be a goal, but Anubis says no. Anubis just does not want that ball anywhere near his goal as they go for...
Ooh! Spencer coming up and just hitting this over Meta. Sydney with a nice pop-up off the wall, and Spencer's just up. And, oh, was that a little bump from Dondo, I think?
Yeah, he had a great demo in the net, too, is what set that whole play up. Yeah, Gladiators had 2 people in the net, and Dondo just took one of them out before they could even start the defense. All right, 20 seconds left. They got to get 2 goals to tie this up. Spencer with the save. Oh, Sydney really wants those 2 goals. Ciro doesn't want to let them happen. Could be a counterattack here. Oh, Anubis doesn't want that to happen yet again. Got 4 seconds left. In game 4.
Anubis.
Not quite over yet.
Meta wants the hat trick.
Game 4 goes to the Gladiators with a clean 4-0 sweep of the series. Nebula is the second team not taking a game off of them.
Yeah, really big plays coming from Gladiators, just showing their dominance. Just absolutely taking the game under control. Even being down by a goal in game 4, they adapted, they overcame, and they did exactly what they planned to do, just to take as many games as they could from these teams.
Yeah, exactly. They weren't even worried. Even the overtime game that just quickly came out, scored the goal, ended the game, weren't even worried. And they are down by 1. They didn't change their play style at all. They just kept playing confident, kept playing aggressive, and it worked for them. Nebula has been doing great this season, but just not quite well enough to take down the number 1 team in the league.
Yeah, this is the confidence we were talking about early on. This is the Gladiators. They believe this is their season to win, and man, they're showing it all right.
Yeah, exactly. They're definitely showing it. All right, so series going to the Gladiators in a very dominating fashion. Minus the 1 overtime game we saw, they didn't really look worried at all. They showed why they're the number 1 team, and I think it was great to see that switching from Vraco to Meta didn't shake the team up at all. They weren't worried. They were steadfast in their confidence and their ability, and they just played a great set of games. And Nebulas were playing great too. They just couldn't play up to the same ability that the Gladiators were playing.
Yeah, the Gladiators were so patient, and they knew that they had control. If they took their time, they could keep the pressure on, and they definitely did. And with that pressure, that's going to put the Gladiators to a whopping 31-5, as the Nebulas will drop to 22-14, which will give in the Mountain Division. It looks like Nebulas are a really close race. Shout out to Reverb and Lightning, the other teams who are only... Reverb is 1 game behind Nebulas still, and Lightning is 2 games behind Nebulas for that first place contention in the Mountain Division. So the Gladiators gave so much space to these other teams now to come in and seize that number 1 spot.
Yeah, and the Gladiators aren't even worried themselves with their 31 wins. Is more than double the second place team. With the Thunder Eagles at 15, Cody's at 12, Primarch at 12, and Duke's at 7. It doesn't look like there's going to be any team quite closing the gap in the Ocean Division anytime soon. But we'll see what happens. Looks like there could be a new number 1 team, as we just spoke about in the Mountain Division. But who knows?
Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Art, take it away.
Yeah, as we say, if anyone wants to check any of those standings and stats, they can look on our website. We have a link to it below the stream. I see Shire in chat is also giving out a lot of links to our Discord and YouTube. I would like to thank Rumble and Cordor for the casting tonight. A+ job.
Thank you, Art.
Thank you.
We'll hopefully have another stream tomorrow night, 10:20 Eastern. I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and hope to see you later this week.